Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today we are blessed to have this opportunity to just have a conversation, just as usual, a conversation that is all geared towards the betterment of our country. And before we start, allow me to take this opportunity to first welcome Miguda and everyone who is watching, including our good friend who has already joined. Good here. Thank you so much, Good here, for finding time to join us. We appreciate. And Miguda, I'll give you a chance. Just you can come and tell us vile siku yako imekuwa, pia utupe maoni ya yale ambayo siku ya leo before we get into the conversation. And as you come, allow me to welcome all our viewers, including Goodia who has joined. Thank you so much, Goodia. Once again, we appreciate your presence. And thank you for engaging us at the comment section. Miguda, you can say hi, watuambie siku imekuwaje na ni yapi umeona siku ya leo.
Hello, unanisikiza vizuri? Kwanza ni confirm pahali niko, sidhani kama niko stable. Unanisikiza vizuri?
Uko sawa? Only that, ongeza volume yako kidogo.
Okay, volume ya voice yangu sasa niko sawa? Niko audible? Makubura, can you for confirm if I'm audible or I can change mic?
Can you hear me?
Huh?
Miguda?
Nasema kindly confirm kama niko audible so I can proceed. Unanipata? Oh, sawa, okay. First I would like to thank you for this opportunity, and also I would like to pass my greetings to all our viewers, including you, who is on the studio right now. I would also like to share with you that my day has been good today, because today is my Sabbath day. Actually, today we were concluding our 10 days of prayers, and I was in church. I've just left church late to go and watch football, and by God's grace, I've also managed to beat Man City 2-0. Actually, it was 5-0. So the day has just been good. I've been filled spiritually, and I've also been filled through sports, and I'm glad. And right now, I'm here to execute politics. So, Makobura, the world is good, and we are here. I also want to pass my greetings to Goodia. Goodia. I want to pass my greetings to Goodia and anybody in the comment section. And also glad that he's here. We're gonna move on well. Makobura, I'm here. I'm all here up to the late hours. So today I'm very much energetic. I can be here up to midnight, or I can be up to past midnight. I can be here up to Sunday, up to 8 a.m. tomorrow. So it's you to decide how you want to converse. So just organize very well. We dissect politics. We go slow by slow. We go bit by bit. And if possible, we can cover a wider part of it, because we understand it has been full of drama, weekends, up and down, many things. So I am free to, I've also taken my supper, so I'm very much free. I'm here. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, and allow me to as well welcome all our viewers, and to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media, and over here we do say that your opinion counts. If you're watching for the first time, we request you to kindly like and subscribe. If you like or you subscribe, it is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Migude, I wanted to get straight to the discussion that we are having tonight. And from Sagana to Kampala, Ruto meets Nyeri UDA leaders as Museveni is elected as the president. That would be the topic. Have a discussion uh, we'll engage on today. And partly I want us to just have a look at the title itself. And it is all about political power orders. And we've seen Ruto engaging near UDA grassroots leaders at Sagana State Lodge. And I can say that this is a regional leadership moment in Eastern Africa. So while Kenya's president, what we are seeing here is that while the Kenyan president is strengthening the grassroots support for his political re-election come 2027, we are seeing that the president, Uganda's president, is strengthening continuity because uh, we saw him being re-elected. I don't know for how many times. This is going to be he's gonna break the Guinness World Record for the more as the survey as the most as the president who has served for the longest here. And these are some of the things that we want to have a look at this night. Allow me to also welcome Simamo. Simamo, karibu sana. Thank you so much for finding time as well to join us. We appreciate. And just like I've mentioned or I've said, I want us to first start with. I think we start with what is happening in what is happening in Uganda, where we saw the people of Uganda went through an election that was that has is already they're already done with the voting and the results are already out. The report we are getting is that Museveni has won, and I'll start with you, I'll start with you, our good friend Msimamo. You come kindly tuambie siku yako imekuwa vipi na utupe maoni yako. What is your general view about the election that was carried out in Uganda?
Asante ndugu yangu host, ndugu yangu hapa Nguda, na upande ule mwingine wa pili wa comment section ndugu yangu Jescona na wengine ambao wako upande ule. Siku yangu kwa kweli imeendelea vizuri, japo niliingia jana kutoka safari kutoa safari yangu haswa ya kuendeleza swazima yangu ya hamasa mashinani, so nikatoka jana Nairobi, lakini kufika nyumbani pia tukapatwa na msiba. Ninavyozungumza tuko Taru. Kwa hiyo hayo ndio ambao
I don't know whether it is my network or Mamo's network, but just to bring it to the light, we saw the election of Uganda 2026 general election was dominated by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who secured about 71 between 71 and
timizwa,
76%.
kwa sababu niliangalia hii margin ya gap
Msimamo, kindly check on your internet. I think you have a problem with your internet. We can't hear you. Kindly.
na pamoja na msemo mambo hayajakwenda sawa kwa sababu
Yeah, so Msimamo, I think, having a problem with this internet, but as we wait for him, I wanted to say that Uganda's 2027 general election was dominated by President Yoweri Museveni, who secured about 71 to 76% of the votes, while the opposition leader Bobi Wine received around 20 to widely criticized for, of course, repression of the opposition, internet blackout, and questions about fairness. Though, amongst
Napatikana kweli?
that, no, hatukusikizi. Internet yako ni kama iko na shida, msimamo.
So je, hapo mnanipata sasa?
Now I can hear you. Maybe if you can give your remarks on that before I call Buddha.
Yeah, so nikawa nafuatilia sasa kuona kwamba demokrasia nchini Uganda imeendaje, lakini kwa kweli imekandamizwa haswa na viongozi wenye uchu na madaraka. Hii imagine na hii gap between Bobi Wine na hii inaonyesha wazi wazi
Miguda, I think you can pick over. Msimamo is having a serious problem with his
zaidi
name.
kwamba nini kilijampiga kura zaidi ya uchu wa mamlaka. Nafikiri hilo ndio kubwa zaidi la Uganda, kwamba tunachoki.
Msimamo, kindly work on your internet. Miguda, can you hear me? Miguda, are you there? Okay, I think I don't know whether it's my side. Would you kindly confirm, good ear, if you can hear me? I don't know whether it's my internet or Miguda and Miss Mamo's internet, because I can't really get what they are saying. But as
You can get me, my friend. I have a very stable internet. Can I proceed?
Please proceed. I had called you, but you are not answering as well.
Okay. Sorry. First, let me begin by saying, Musmamo, welcome to the show as well. And we convey our condolence to you for losing your loved one. And may good God comfort you in this trying moment. We are with you in this moment, and we say sorry. Of course, I want to start by this issue of Ugandan president. Ugandan President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Me, I've never known any president since I came on this world from Uganda. The only president I was born seeing, I was raised seeing, and currently is presiding is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I've never known any president in Uganda. We were young in primary, the so-called social studies. By then, we were used to be asked, who is the president of Uganda? Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. To date, I've never known any. But there's I just want to say that I got some information that it was actually elected on it was actually elected on 70 plus some percentage. The reason why sometimes it is difficult to analyze the Ugandan politics is because you find that the country itself, it is in the dark. The country is dark. It's dark in terms of there's no transparency. There's no internet in operation. There are so many things in that country that actually you can never get the rightful information. The only source of information we relied is the social media. We can access the TikTok account for the opposition. We can access sometimes the YouTube. We can access sometimes the X Space. Most of the son to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Muhoozi, is good on X Space. Kiagulai, Bobi Wine is good on Twitter and other platforms. It's not that open. That's why it's not very much useful for us sometimes to get the rightful information from the Ugandan people, because it's more of dark. And what we can say that they've had the difference I've now noticed The Tanzanian one was chaotic. It was violent. People died. The Ugandan one, even though there are some issues to do with illegality and irregularities in that result, but we haven't seen people dying like what happened in Tanzania. That's the only difference. But the issue of electoral malpractice and electoral injustice are common across the East African country, including Uganda. But all in all, right now, we have the president-elect, Museveni, and he promised during campaign that this is the last time he's going to contest. And his contest for the last time. Why could he not contest lastly in 2000, early, or 2011? Anyway, the East African issue right now, there is that need for transformation, and there's that need for, we can, like Uganda, like I've told you, I've seen in my life, Moi, Kibaki, who right now, Ruto, 4 presidents since I was born. I've encountered 4 presidents in my life since I was born. But Ugandan people, since I was born, I've only encountered 1 president. In Tanzania, 3 presidents. So there's a quite different between Kenya and Tanzania and Uganda. Tanzania is better off than Uganda. Uganda, there's no country there, but matters to do with the self-determination, matters to do with the sovereignty, matters to the state, has restricted me to discuss much about Uganda. I'm limited because Uganda is a sovereign state. They have self-determination. They were declared independent, and I have absolutely no authority or right to interfere with the internal affairs of Uganda. The same way we also expect them to respect our sovereign state, our self-determination, our state. That's the same way I respect it. But I have, as a neighbor, I can overview that I've seen the only difference that people never died like what happened in Tanzania. Makubra, before I drop mic, I also want to pass my greetings to Laban Misiani and welcome Laban Misiani to the show. And also, I would like to wish him all the best. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to welcome Laban. Laban, you can also say hi to us. Tuambie siku yako imekuaje. But again, as you come, you can give us your take on the election that was held in Uganda, where the Uganda's 2027 general election was dominated by President Yoweri Museveni, who secured about 76% of the votes, while the opposition leader Bobby Wine received around 25%. And the election was widely criticized for the repression of the opposition, internet blackout, and questions about fairness. Though Museveni supporters emphasize stability and continuity. What are your views on? What are your general views on the election that was held in Uganda? Simba.
Asante sana Bwana Makobura kwa nafasi hii. Mimi nimeshinda vizuri na sidhani kama kuna haja sana tuongelee mambo ya uchaguzi wa Tanzania. Tanzania are our friendly country. Ilikuwa ni siasa zao za ndani, but Uganda iko na vile ilikuwa kutoka kitambo. Mapinduzi yalifanyika Uganda mpaka wakati Museveni alipompindua Milton Obote na kuwa rais. Tangu wakati huo aliweza kuzuia mambo yenye yalikuwa yanafanyika, ndio hizo mambo ya mapinduzi kufanyika. Na mwisho kabisa niliona Museveni akifungua kiwanja kikubwa sana cha AFCON. Mimi sioni kama Waganda ni wajinga. Waganda wanampenda rais wao na wamefanya uchaguzi. Museveni yako na another 5 years to rule Uganda. Kama ataamua kuretire, kama wataamua waendelee na yeye, hiyo ni mambo yao. Lakini mimi sioni kama kuna tofauti kubwa sana na matokeo ambayo tutakuwa nayo in 2032. Malalamishi yatakuwa same, kwa sababu nchi zetu za Kiafrika, especially sub-Saharan countries, zinajulikana. Not only sub-Saharan countries, mpaka West Africa. Viongozi wa Afrika ni wale. Ile kitu yenye iko ni wananchi wajue kazi yao, wanasiasa wajue kazi yao, wanasheria wafanye kazi yao, na kila mtu afanye kazi yake. At the end of the day, sisi ni wana wa Mungu, sio wana wa nchi.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Miguda and Simba, for your take. Maybe allow me to read some few comments here. Paolo is saying that Uganda has produced both short-serving president and longest-serving president in Africa. And again, who was the Uganda's shortest president? Was that Milton Obote? I don't know. Yeah. So maybe Miguda, before we go to the other question, we've seen repression amongst the leaders in power, where we saw this happening in Tanzania, where opposition leaders were not given an opportunity to express their will, and also an opportunity to look for the votes, interact with the people freely. Consistent arrest here and there. We are seeing the same thing in Uganda. Mr. Miguda, as Museveni won with around 7.9 million vote, while Bobby Wine was having around 2.7 million vote. And we also saw that the NRM retained majority with 265 members of parliament out of 529. You know, we just a general view. Again, what was seen over there is that supporters of Museveni were emphasizing on the stability of the country, continuity, and also the legacy, especially in the rural areas where the NRM influence was stronger. Where we also saw the campaign slogan, they were saying that protecting the gains, that is the side of the government. But again, on the opposition side, or the critic side, we saw the Bobby Wine NUP party and its supporters claim the election was not free and fair, citing house arrest of Bobby Wine during the vote counting. We saw the internet blackout imposed during the election week. We also saw reports of intimidation and repression of opposition figures, where many observers argue that the outcome was predetermined, given Museveni's control of the state machinery. And when we look at the international analytical perspective, we see that analysts note Museveni win deepened succession question, and he has ruled since 1986, and is now 81 years old. There's also pressure mounting to address the youth unemployment and also the Gen Z frustration, which remains a major challenge in that particular region. The election also highlighted Uganda's generational divide, where the older voters favor stability while younger voters demand for change. What are the challenges that also being faced in this? We saw things to do with legitimacy concerns, youth discontented with what is going on under the economy and the political inclusion. We are also seeing the succession and certainty where Museveni long rule raises questions about what happens what happens after him, especially the party that is currently ruling. Migoda, what would be your view about the long term, the many years that Museveni has served? And again, what are your views on the cries that are there from the opposition side before we get to the next topic?
I don't want to delve too much in the issue of Uganda. Just like I've told you, also in terms of principality, the very way I respect the sovereign state of a nation, I'm limited to discuss much about the internal affairs of other states. The same very way I'm also expecting them to respect my sovereign. That is how it works internationally. Uganda is a sovereign state, as we have said. They have challenges as one of the African countries. They have challenges with democracy. When I point out democracy, I mean that they go to election after some period of time to elect new leaders. But after all this time, they have gone to elections. They have been electing one president. I've not said that it's wrong to have one leader because it depends on the system of governance. Some prefer monarchical, some prefer aristocratic, some prefer military junta, some prefer democracy. It depends on how you prefer. So when Ugandans prefer democracy, but we have one person, to me that is not democracy. That's the much I can say. Maybe some can also argue that what is loved, you can't be loved by the entire generations, but that's now left for them to discuss. But I initiate my statement by saying those are some of the challenges we have with democracy. Because at times, democracy, someone can work for life. So why were we integrating democracy into our system, if at all that is the case? Another issue I want to discuss about what you have asked me. When elections were declared and Museveni won those elections with the majority of the people, that is members of parliament, there's a difference. We cannot analyze Ugandan politics the same way we are analyzing our politics. Because between Kenya and Uganda, the difference is like day and night. We are two different pairs. We are distinct. If you go to our constitution, it has vested all sovereign power to the people, Mwananchi. But to Ugandan, the sovereign power is vested to the state. It means that it's the state that can exercise that power directly or indirectly. That's why on election date, the state allowed the military to come and guard them internally. Unlike Kenya, whereby it's very clear that the external duty is for the military. The police are the one do the internal duties, and also all sovereign power is vested to the people. So we have two different countries. We have two different legal systems. We have two different people. Like in our case, we are diverse, 43 plus, then they are not more than 10. That's why when we want to analyze this politics of Uganda, it must be very much objective and be distinct. How do we discuss Ugandan politics with the Kenyan politics. But all in all, there's a challenge in terms of democracy across Africa, even in Kenya here, and also the issue of international organization verifying the elections. But the facts are he has been leading right now in those elections, and chances are that is going to be sworn in. But it's very sad for the Ugandan people. Even though they are saying they have embraced him, they loved him, but it was not monarchical. It was not military junta. It was democratic process. So we expect a new leadership to come into play. We don't expect a permanent president, because why do we go for elections? Why was democracy introduced? So I think democracy sometimes must have regulations. And this is a very important point, Makobura. We decided to regulate our democracy by one, we are not only going to elections, but you can only do two terms as a president. So we regulate that by introducing term limit, that you can only do two. You cannot go beyond 10. That is one part of regulating democracy. Even though they have democracy to their country, Uganda, they should regulate. They should introduce a term limit. People like Museveni should be given term limit, because there are many Musevenis in Africa, across the world. People should be given term limit. That's one of the ways to regulate democracy practices. And people should also vest the power to the people, not the government. So by giving the people the power, all sovereign power, all sovereign power belongs to the people, not government. Those are one of the ways to regulate democracy.
So I was just going through the list of presidents who have ever led Uganda, and I'm finding that the first president that was there was called Edward Mutesa, who ruled between 1963 to 1966. Then Milton Obote, who took from 1966 to 1971 to 19 between he ruled between 1966 to 1971, and then Idi Amin picked from 1971 to 1979, and then Yusuf Lule ruled between 1997 April to 1979 April to 1979 June. Then came Godfrey Binaisa, who ruled between 1979 to 1980. Then Paulo Mwanga, who ruled between May 1980 to December 1980. Then came Tito Okello Lutwa, who ruled between 1985 to 1986. And then Yoweri Museveni, who took over now from 1986 to date. And there's a probability that his son Muhozi might also take over from him. So those are some of the things which are happening in Uganda, and it is good to know the history of these countries. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Sankara, who is watching us from Kisumu County. Thank you so much, Sankara, for finding time to join and for letting us know where you are. Thank you so much. Allow me to acknowledge Irene. Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you so much, Paulo. Thank you so much. Also, Sonyamu, thank you so much. A good friend, good year. Thank you so much, Msimamo. Asante sana. I saw a good friend, Laban, was also here. Thank you so much, Laban. And everyone who has joined us, we really appreciate. We want to remind you that this is Brother Men's of Media. And over here, we do say that your opinion counts. Yeah, so we were just having a discussion on what has been happening in Uganda based on the political results, elections that were held. And so, Miguel, I would just want to get to the next topic, that is the Sagana State Lodge meeting, where, of course, the political significance. Sagana is a symbolic political venue, especially for the Mount Kenya politics, and why Nyeri County matters. We've seen the voting powers of Nyeri, we've seen the political influence in Nyeri, we've seen the expectations from the Ruto's administration. And remember, Rigathi Gachagua also comes from Nyeri. And so the role of Ruto, the role of UDA grassroots leaders in that particular area is to do the mobilization, to do the messaging, and of course to do the political loyalty. And something else that we can say that, you can give us your take on Miguda. Is Ruto rebuilding trust in Mount Kenya? Is this meeting all about economic concern, party unity, or future elections? Miguda, you can give us your take on that, because we saw a huge number of people in that particular meeting, and it was being said that it was a meeting for grassroots leaders within Nyeri, and specifically for the UDA party. The question that is also out there is that the huge number of people who appeared, including the governor of Nyeri, who also spoke and said that he is still a member of UDA and is expecting the president to, to do his part, and then after that, he will also have no other reason but to say two term. So, Mr. Migura, what is your view? What is your take on what is happening in, the meeting that was held by the UDA?
Okay, I just want to say the meeting that was held by the president at Nyeri, first it confirmed that the campaigns are on, the president is campaigning, and from the look of things, I'm not seeing him relenting, and I'm not seeing him abandoning his political party, that's UDA. He's continuing to popularize UDA, mobilizing grassroots leaders, and that's why you saw the other day when he was at the Uasin Gishu County, he actually lined up in a primary school and cast his ballot in the grassroots election. He actually participated in the grassroots election for the UDA grassroots elections. That's a clear indication that he's busy strengthening UDA, his political party, and he wants it to be strong. And that's why he has gone further to see the people at Nyeri. And when he was welcomed by Kahiga, you saw the people and photos. They were done in UDA caps, scarves, and they were chanting two term. So to me, I just want to believe that it's just a campaign mode, and no one is restricted to campaign in any part of the country. You can move across the country, and that's why we are telling the people who are still in those eras whereby they used to give people ultimatum that do not dare to come to my region. How will you feel when they also decide to do so? Because even if you are a local person, you don't get out of your region, you can dare people to come to your region. But what about some people who want to go to other regions? How will they be received? Because the fact that you are ever at Opoda Farm doesn't make me to ever at Opoda Farm. Me, I like to go to Nyeri many times. And if you have restricted the Nyeri residents to go to Opoda, what about the people who want to go to Nyeri? What about the people who are in that region? These politics, you don't understand. There are some who are in parts of the country, and when you give ultimatum that you don't want to go into your region, it means that even the people who are into their region, they can be chased away or given ultimatum. But we have freedom of movement, we have freedom of residency, I can decide to reside and also to move any part of the country, and that is what I have. And you are not permitting me, even as a government or who you are. It is a free right, inherent, given to me, and enjoying it. The issue is that campaign. They are campaigning. Campaign is broad. Campaign is not what you see on television during rallies or during the fact that they are on the top of vehicles. Campaign is very broad and deep. That's why sometimes they are going to night meetings. Mr. President sometimes can organize night meetings. Sometimes they can reach, their targeted audience, like the people he was actually meeting. Could be Kaiga fans, at the same time could be a certain age gap, whereby that age, there are things that if you communicate to them, they will not consult. And I've also seen him going to places, the issue of Nyota Fund. So when you want to meet the young people in Nyota Fund, give them hope, promises, but when he's going to meet the older people, he's giving them 2Ks, caps, scarves, and also promising them that things will be good, pensions will be increased. It's a matter of campaign. And when you are in a war, you use any available tool to assist you win that war. If that could be a tool one is using, so be it. But we also encourage that let us do good campaigns. Let us not engage into bribery, because in accordance to law, voter bribery is not permitted. Let us not engage into hatred, whereby you spread hatred among communities, you spread hatred among people. Let us avoid intolerance, whereby you don't tolerate your competitor. And let us also avoid incitement into our campaigns. We should not incite each and every person. Most of we are taking advantage of our people. We incite them against other people, and let us avoid words that can lead to war, because it's not good to be in war. We have been in war, we know what war is. Makobura, the president is simply campaigning, and that's how his style of campaign. I can't decide for anyone. It's you to decide how you want to campaign. Everybody has his own style. Nowadays we are saying kila mtu acheze namba yake, tukutane huko mbele. If you are good in midfielder, play midfield. Do not come to the defense. If you are good in right back, play right back. Do not go to the striker. If you are good in wing, play wing. Don't go to the goal post. Everybody should stick to his position. Everybody should stick to his line. Let us play. All of us, take your number, play effectively, enjoy the game. Then we will meet hope there. That's why, if you know you are good in any part, you can assist. Do your part. If you are good in oversight, do it. But campaigns are on. People have thrown their weight into the ring. So the young people should also, it's just 1 year down the line. Next year we're having elections. And next year every house will be looking Kenyans. Mr. President is on the campaign. And the things which were said there are just meant for campaign purposes, and maybe to boost or maybe to infringe people's emotions. Those people who are emotionally attracted to politics. So that's my view.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. And allow me to just hear from Msimamo as well. Labda pia naweza tupea maoni yake. Msimamo, the UDA grassroots meeting in Nyeri, where the President Ruto, we saw Kahiga and the political leaders, including Kimani, amongst others, were present. What would be your view about this particular meeting that was held here? And what would you say about the presence of President William Ruto, who is the party leader and the head of state, and the symbols that it has going for that particular meeting? And again, remember Governor Mutai sometimes back used to has been seen as appointment for the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who was also present in this particular meeting, and is turning out to be a key Mount Kenya political figure. What my question to you is, was this meeting just an ordinary meeting, or it was a calculated political engagement? When the president meets grassroots leaders at Sagana, it is never just a meeting. I mean, is it really just a meeting, or this is a political signal that he is sending to the rest of the other team? And then why do you think they were going to do it in Sagana? Sagana has a political significance in the Mount Kenya region in terms of how the political calculations or the political meetings are always done historically. We've seen the region being, I mean, the region consolidation is done at that particular point. What are your views, Msimamo?
My views is kwamba kwangu mimi sina shida na yeye kufanya grassroots leo kampeni yake kwa chama chake, but what worries me is kile kinanishangaza ni governors wote ni kambaye, kutazama kwa asilimia kubwa wote wamemezwa, lakini vile vile kutazama pia wandani wengi wa Gachagua pia wamechukuliwa. So unakuta kwamba hii ni signal, ni ishara wazi kwamba kuna mengi ambayo yatajitokeza, na kwa kweli ambayo kimtazamo wangu mimi naona kwamba kuna kibarua haswa kwa United Opposition, especially for those who ambao watakuwa karibu na kujiassociate nao. Kuna ile probability ya kuweza kuchukuliwa haswa kutoka huku na kurudi upande huu, kwa sababu ni kitu ambacho nimekiona haswa upande wetu na nakizidi kukiona upande mwingine haswa wa taifa, haswa hususan Mlima Kenya. So it's like kuna hiyo kwamba njoo sasa, wacha tuonyeshane ubabe hapa, kwamba kama tuone nani gwiji hapa. So unakuta watu wanachukuliwa, wananunuliwa, wanarudi upande huu.
Msimamo, are you there? I can't really hear you. I don't know whether
Kuna hiyo hali, lakini wameweza kurudi upande huu. Kwa hivyo huyu kumwasi Gachagua kurudi upande huu sige
Msimamo.
machake, sina shaka nacho, lakini sasa
Msimamo, can you hear me?
mama na
I don't know
wananchi.
whether
So something
you're not very clear. I don't know. You have a problem with your internet. Kindly just check or do a refresh, and then we'll be able to
yes,
get your take clearly. You can hear me?
mimi nakusikia.
Yeah, so you've been breaking. I don't know whether it's your network. You can proceed. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe as we wait from Simamo, Meguda can just give us his take. The presence of Ruto, what was he signaling? And again, the direct engagement that Ruto was showing, what does it show? And then he also gave a political objective behind his what is the political objective behind his presence? We saw him telling the people of Mount Kenya that he knows that he was given and that the votes that he was given are supposed. He's not misusing the votes. He's using those votes to unite the people, contrary to the naysayers, according to his take. Mr. Migoda. And again, we've always seen that for the first time there's no regional unity among the Mount Kenya region. And the other day we saw quite a number of leaders or close allies of Rigathi Gachagua are also dumping him, and some of them are coming back to Ruto. What are the significance? And of course, based on the number of the number of people who showed up, does it mean that Ruto is getting back the acceptance that he was losing? Migoda?
Okay. I've gotten your question. Let me respond to the question you've asked me. You have stated very unequivocal that when Ruto visits Mount Kenya, he appeals to them, he dances their tune, just like I've told you. He has decided to campaign. He's on the campaign trail, and he can use anything that is possible for him to persuade the people, including lies. When he met Kaiga, to some extent, the Kaiga said is under UDA government because that is what party, that's the party that he actually was elected on. And the current government is for the UDA, and the presiding president is William Ruto. They are working hands in hands. That is not wrong, because even in the constitution, there's coordination and cooperation between the county government and the national government. If today I become the governor of Nairobi and I'm on a DCP ticket, then the president is William Ruto. I'll work with him on cooperation, coordination, because there are some functions that have been devolved, and there's some functions that you need a county government, national government for you to go ahead, including National Assembly. There are some approvals they do, including senators. They approve some functions for you to proceed. That one you can work together, but you can differ politically. That's why I've said I've been DCP is in UDA. The fact that I'm in DCP and is in UDA, that's a very crystal clear that we are not in the same camp, because I'm not defending his political party. I'm defending my political party. I'm not defending his political party. Therefore, we can only work. Even if we differ ideologically, even with you right now here, does it make me not to call your phone? I can still call you. I can still engage in other things. Maybe I want you to present for me a certain check into the bank, and you are closer to that bank, or maybe you are the branch manager. Then politically, you are affiliated to Matiang'i. Politically, I'm affiliated to maybe Oburu Odinga. The fact that I'm in need of your services, I must reach you out and engage you on how you can assist me to actually acquire whatever I wanted to acquire. But when we come back to politics, I still disagree with your agenda, your manifesto. The way I look at Kenya is not the way you look at Kenya. We look Kenya differently, and we have best views of the country, best visions. Even somebody else somewhere thinks that he or she is the person with the best one. That one is quite proper, and that's why when you realize that people are now, it's like a shocker. But let me now be open to you, Makubura, and be very keen here. When Mutahi Kaiga welcome president, and donning a UDA jersey. The people call him a conning heir, that yeye ni Sungura Mjanja. But whenever there is any association of Ruto with other people, then there is how people tend to say things. So that should teach you this is politics. Sometimes you need to take a break, you breathe in, relax, and there hasn't been from time immemorial permanent enemy or permanent friends. Mostly in Kenyan politics, it's transactional, and most of them they prefer interest, so they are pro-interest. All of them are pro-interest. Let me know to you. If our interests converge, we work together. When our interests diverge, we part ways and we'll meet hapo mbele. When you discuss about the promises, you know, you talked about now how are these meetings organized? Why are now people who are earlier affiliated to former deputy president currently are running out of his camp? Politics works that way. Sometimes you have the people, sometimes you don't have the people, because maybe you rented those people, you are paying them money, you are giving them food, but there will be no money every day or food. How will you keep them? How will you maintain them? Maybe you are sending them 100 bob, 200 bob. If you see people defecting from Gachagua camp going to the camps, first, those people are not principals in politics. Those people are cowards. They don't have decision to be made. They can't make bold decision because they ran from Ruto. They went to Gachagua, warming there, waiting for the kingdom of God to come. But later, realizing that there are things that they never anticipated, they are going back to UDA. Even that UDA they are going back to, they will not be trusted. No one is going to give them mandates of the party. No one is going to give them acknowledgement and also allow them to carry critical activities of the party. I don't believe so, because they can never be trusted. If you keep on flip-flopping, no one will trust you. Even if you come to my camp, I'll have to have some questions. Maybe an ally has just sent you through what we call public disorder. Then you come to my camp, you spy, or you steal from me, then later you get out. So if you see people going through those camp, doesn't mean that all of them like him. Some people can be just used to be intelligence, and they brief the other party. And how do you gather intelligence? You can only gather intelligence if you also friend your enemy. If you friend your enemy, or if you engage your enemy, sometimes it can point you something that since you were born you never knew. And what I know, the real thing on the ground is that the people you see defecting, they have been paid, because that man currently is damn rich. The president has got a lot of money which he can use to waste by buying people. He can buy even the entire opponent. What he's doing in ODM right now, he's buying the entire party. He's dividing the people right into the middle. He's having his people and the other officials who are, if you are a pro people, you are against him. And then he can just use that money to buy people. If you see people defecting, not worry. Sometimes that's how politics works, because some people comes with fire, but later at the end of the day, when people go to decide, the people will decide the proper leaders. People will not decide leaders who have been bought. People will not prefer leaders who have been shifting camps. Today you are in UDA, tomorrow DCP, the day UDA. Now on Tuesday you are going to be UDA. Each and every political rally, you are present. When the DCP were having their launch, you are there. When right now UDA is moving across Mount Kenya, you are also present. How can we help you? how can you, at what time do you work? At what time do you legislate? At what time do you go to parliament? And you keep on working with president and any political leader, any political broker around the town. You keep on following, looking for certificate. But all in all, I believe that those people are bought. There's money, and they just ask you how much do you need. They'll give you, then you support their agenda. So we should be very careful going 2027 elections, because we have even had issues like bringing a referendum question. So during elections, we end up with 7 ballots, 6 for the end of election. Then the last paper is for the question, yes or no. So you can end up amending the constitution in a wrong manner. That's why we say that leaders should not be used. Leaders, we should change all our leaders, because we keep on talking about these issues. You find them all repeating the same again. So leaders are finding it very wrong, because what kind of leader are you? Today you are with me, tomorrow you are with my opponent, then you are coming back to my camp. I cannot trust with the serious issues of the party. So even if they are doing so, but remember, that's a long-term program. So you can decide to do so, and the next election, people will not elect you because of your own greed and selfish.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to read some few uh, views here. This is Paolo saying politics, they have dynamics today towards election period. Also, others they will defect from government to opposition. Good here. He is saying that who said that in politics you can't change your mind when you want to play a perfect game. There is also Nyamu here is saying uh, uh, in any case, Kaiga is looking for protection and a job after being governor 2 term. I think Kaiga is serving his first term because the first term he took it over from. He was a deputy governor, so he took over. Miguda, would you kindly explain that? I think he's serving his the first one. He took over as he was sworn in as a governor, but he was elected as the deputy governor. I think he still has a chance for going for one more. Miguda, is that the truth? Kindly give us your
Next,
clarification on that. And again, as you come, just give us your views about Kalonzo's remarks, where he said that the IBC needs reforms. Kalonzo is, of course, cautioning ODM and UDA against constituting the independent. I mean, uh, is cautioning ODM against forming a pact where he's so many times declared that Azimio One Kenya is defunct, attributing its collapse to Raila Odinga's recent agreement with UDA. But again, he's also coming out to warn ODM, saying that the best decision ODM should make is working with the likes-minded, the likes of parties that are still within the Azimio or parties that are in the opposition side. Because according to his statement, Raila stood for democracy, stood for justice, and all those kind of things. And he's saying that all those can only be achieved when ODM makes the right decision by not joining the government. So you can give us your remarks on the two and your final remarks as well.
I don't know what is like-minded and what is not like-minded, because these political parties are all the same. Which one do you say this is like-minded, this is not like-minded? That's a question for another day. What I want to say is that no one should decide, for anybody or political party. The same way you haven't seen people deciding for Wiper who to work with. Wiper also are going too far deciding for ODM who to work with. In my opinion, let us allow just people to do things the way they want to do things. If they decide to work with Kasongo, so be it. Let them work with Kasongo. Because this world is too big. You are not limited. If you can decide to do other coalition, because it was not written or it was not made for Kenyans that you must just have a coalition with ODM or Wiper. I think things can just move even without ODM and Wiper into the scene. So ODM already have made their decision in their mind, and let them just go where they are going. People will meet hapo mbele. You can't decide for them. Let them just go and also tell us what they will see. Because remember, when Premier League started, the enemy was Arsenal. So first they send Man City to go and anyway, then they send Liverpool to go. Then finally we send Manchester City. Today Manchester City is appointed us because Arsenal is side of it. So what I'm trying to say, let us not decide for people that you go and do. You yourself do it. As Wiper, form coalition with like-minded people. As ODM, let them form coalition with like-minded people the way they want or whatever they want to do. They are grown-ups. They understand these things, negotiations. They understand how to negotiate toughly and come to consensus. So I believe that let us just respect political parties and give them time to thrive. But this issue of a single political party giving the other one direction, that is not good. Because when we talk of democracy and we talk of equality, it should be applicable to all. Not that it is only democracy and it is only justice when it is done to you. But when it's done to me, now that is not democracy, that is not justice. I think justice, democracy, whatever, irrespective of whom is done to, that's how it should be. Because even that person deserves it. Everybody deserves to enjoy democratic exercise. So when it's done to me, I should not be charged with any offense. And when it's done to you, I should not be charged. So we should embrace the unity, and also we should embrace that all those things you are enjoying and admire, like basic rights and freedoms, they're applicable to me. The same way they're applicable to William Ruto, the same way they are applicable to me. In my last remark, I just want to conclude because I told you today I was very much energetic, but I see from your end, you have been busy. I could have proceeded, but right now I want to leave the studio. So thank you for hosting me. And I saw a certain comment here. I don't know who said it about. I don't know. There was a certain comment, but that one I'll respond to the other time. I'll just note it. I also want to appreciate Goodia, who came to the show and actually participated vigorously in the comment section. I want to appreciate Paul Kisianga. Paul Kisianga, welcome to our show and thanks for always coming to our live session. I also want to appreciate Nyamu KM. Nyamu KM. There was a time I saw Nyamu KM advocating for one term. Anyway, that is your liberal right. No one can infringe it. The only thing you can do can protect you to shout one term. The way we are protecting Laban by all means to shout 2 terms. We will protect him
Did you give a
to.
clarification on what Nyamwad raised about the governor of Nyeri?
Okay, this one. Yeah, this one. I think this one. Thank you for this one. We can only protect your right to expression. We can protect your freedom of expression. We protect you to express yourself. And even if you are arrested, we will come and ensure that you are released on either bail or bond. We will protect you to speak opinion, but we will not protect you to incite or to violate someone's right. So that one, you're at liberty. Makobura, yes, the first term was more than half. Remember, it counted as full term. No, Mutai Kaiga, I think is doing his last term. Makobura is going home. He's doing like his last term. I think just want to get, maybe he's just preparing for politics after gubernatorial. So the future will go to.
Could you kindly clarify this? This he took over from the late Rigathi Gachagwa's brother. If what was his name? Was it? I'm forgetting his name. The one who got the accident and died. And then he was serving as the deputy president. I mean, the deputy governor was then sworn in as the governor for the remaining period that he served, and then went for a re-election, elected as a governor. So the question here is the first one still counted as his full term elected, or will it still have another chance to go for another term for the governorship?
Mtai Kaiga, that question of gubernatorial is still at stake, but what I know is that he's doing his second term because he took over, he was sworn in. So when he was sworn in, he was serving as a governor. Now we go for elections. So the election does not nullify the swearing in. The swearing in is valid that he was sworn as the governor. He was not sworn as the deputy governor. He took
An oath of office as a governor. Therefore, and I think there is even a lineup for Gachagua in Nyeri. That one I'll get it. Then I'll come back to you.
Okay. Thank you. Your final remarks?
My final remarks. We meet tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me as well to acknowledge the presence of Nyamu, Paul, Gudia, Laban, Msimamo, and everyone who joined us today. Kennedy, Sankara, Irene, we really appreciate. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us and to join us. Don't take it for granted. It's an honor that you guys have been giving to us. And I also want to acknowledge Michael Ted Ben Cheriot for also finding time to join us. Really appreciate. Thank you so much. And again, if you're watching for the first time, we request you that you'd like and subscribe. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us. May God bless each and every one of you. We really appreciate, and we wish you, of course, a good night. For those of you who are within those timelines. For the others, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Mungu awabariki. See you again tomorrow. Bye.